Welcome to another episode of Dapp Library. This week we have GearFi with us. We have Aadarsh from GearFi. So, hi Aadarsh, thank you so much for joining. And what we'll do is we'll start with your introduction. You can introduce yourself, and then we'll jump into what GearFi is, what it does, and all the nitty gritties of GearFi. So, I think that would be a good way to start things up. So hi others, all
Hi,
the stage is
hi
yours.
everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I really love the community that Shardeum has and the work you're doing to build a good community. This is a really good example of building in public that everyone talks about, right, in Web3. But there are not many projects who are executing it in a way that Shardium is doing. So really admire the community and the work you guys do here, making it an interactive community. So yeah, Adarsh. I'm building GearFi based out of India, and I've been in the Web3 space from 4 years now. And yeah, so I got into the space in the NFT space when the NBA Top Shot was at the top. So that is when I got into NFTs. I learned about it. I first started building a real estate backed NFT platform around 4 years back. Then yeah, couldn't like there were many legal deadlocks at that time in India, so couldn't continue with it. Then I built Central DAO. So I guess KP is here in audience. So with KP and my co-founder Ronak, I built Central DAO. So Central DAO right now is one of the biggest community of Web3 developers across Central India. So have got a good experience in community building, and that is what I do in GearFi as well. I handle the marketing and community plus the product development for GearFi. KP also does the same, and there's Ronak, who's the tech co-founder. So he leads the tech building and the protocol building stuff for GearFi. So yeah, that's a little about myself. Started working on GearFi around an year ago, and before that was full time working on Central DAO. Yeah.
Sounds interesting. I mean, so since I as well have this community and marketing background, so I can completely relate to you. But talking about NFTs in general, so since I mean you are a veteran already in this industry, like you've been here in this NFT space for 4 years now, right?
Yeah, been following NFTs dive deep into it for around 3 years back. Yeah,
Okay,
into
awesome.
NFTs. Yeah.
And then like again, like as you had a DAO and now GearFi. So like as you mentioned, you have a few like you just mentioned about your co-founders and other people. We'll definitely deep dive into that as well. But before that, maybe I went through GearFi, I read about it, but it would be better if you do the same. If you tell us what GearFi exactly is, what are the features that you guys have right now in your platform and everything. So maybe yeah, an introduction to GearFi would really help now.
Definitely. Yeah. So at GearFi, we are building financing protocols for NFTs. So, before explaining this, I'll tell you guys what we believe NFTs is, because these days many people think of NFTs as just an image or a video moment, or just. But what we believe and what NFTs actually is a revolutionary way of owning any digital asset. So I like to give this example to everyone that I talk to, that like in the physical world, right? We have got a way of owning anything. If you go buy a watch, you have got an invoice. And if you go want to buy an real estate, so you get this registry with all the chain documents that you have. So what NFT is? NFT is a way of ownership for any digital asset out there. And as we see that we are getting into that era of metaverse and getting more and more into a digital life, we are playing games, we are listening to music, we are watching esports. So we are getting into the digital era. and there's a rise in digital assets. So you can think of NFTs, you don't have to overcomplicate it. Just think of NFTs as a way of owning any digital asset. And we at GearFi, as the NFT market evolves, we see a lot of innovation happening. We see gaming NFTs. We see real estate being converted into NFTs these days. So as the NFT market evolves, we want to become the strongest ecosystem around NFT financing. As I've mentioned, NFTs are a way to own any asset, right? So there are many assets. But so giving you the example of a car or a real estate. So try to imagine a scenario when there is no car loan or a home loan. Then the number of people who would afford to buy a house or a car would have a very immense drop. So that is what we believe. As we believe that NFTs are a way to own any asset, we want to build a financing ecosystem around it. So that any NFT you want to buy that you feel is not in your buying capacity at the moment. So we provide protocols so you can buy now, pay later those NFTs. So the current market is dominated by PFPs, as we know, and we see a lot of innovation happening towards gaming. So to give you guys an example, like suppose there's a PFP worth 100 Shardeum, right? 100 Shard. So you can come to GearFi, you can pay a 20-30% down payment or 20-30 Shard down payment, and you get to reserve the NFT. And now you can pay the remaining amount later. And the NFT that you will be buying will be used as a collateral. So it is more of a home loan, right? Where you pay a down payment to buy a house, and the house itself is a collateral. But at the same time, you are able to use the utility of the house. You are able to live in it. So that is the current protocols that we have made, like buy now pay later, with the access to utility as well. Plus, if you want to trade it, you can trade it or margin trade, flip it as well. So that's the basic about it.
I would want to deep dive into the buy now pay later and margin trading on at the later stage of this particular stage. But what we'll do right now is maybe you can tell us about the team that you have here in GearFi, the people you have, and how did you meet them? How did the idea around GearFi developed, and yeah, how basically how this came into a picture. So NFT. So yeah,
Definitely, definitely.
tell us
So
about
yeah.
that.
So KP is already a Ronak also joined. So we three are the part of the core team. Apart from us, we have got 7 people, out of which 5 are working full time for us. Ronak and KP are my school friends. So, since the school days, we have always been very passionate about entrepreneurship. So, like before Web3, we were doing different startups. We got awarded by the Indian government for one, not in the Web3 space, but that we built together. Then we together, you can say, got into the Web3 space, and NFTs was something that actually excited us. I'll tell you a little story about it. Cause we used to play a lot of FIFA. Cause I'm like Kushal as well. We are a big football fan. So we used to play a lot of FIFA mobile, and we used to buy assets. And I had to admit it. It is quite shameful, but I used to put on some money to buy these cards of Messi or any good football player to do good in the game. But then what used to happen is the exams came, and then every year this was the same story. I used to stop playing, delete the game, and all my assets they were gone, like all the investments I had. So I heard this podcast around 3-4 years back where they were just brainstorming on NFTs, like how can this evolve. So there was this guy who was talking about suppose as the games develop, we integrate NFTs into it, and these FIFA cards they turn into an NFT. So you actually own them. So if you and I actually related with it quite a lot. That if I actually own those cards, and when I had exams, I had a chance to sell them. So it would not have been a yearly loss for me, like every time I was putting on money into these games. So that particular like instant or that podcast is something that initiated that you can say importance of self custody into me. And then I explored blockchain. I read the like every as everyone read the Bitcoin white paper, learned a lot about decentralization, the value this space represents. So yeah, that is how I got into NFTs. And similar case with my co-founders as well. Like, cause we were in this together from initially. Then, like as I've mentioned, we started to work on a real estate tokenization platform. We were creating NFTs for real estate. We got a good traction on it. We had a chance to work with some really good folks in this field. CoinDCX was there and many other like good mentors we got connected to in the Brickstocks time. But due to the legal deadlocks, couldn't move ahead with it. Then we worked on Central DAO. So as I've mentioned, I'm from Central India, Indore, which is a tier two city. And I have like in the Brickstocks time, I was traveling a lot, been to Bangalore. So I realized that in a tier two city, there's an opportunity gap. So to fill that gap, to educate more people to get into the Web3 space, we started Central Law. Then we went a bit core towards Web3 developers. And now yeah, Central Law is, as I've mentioned, one of the biggest community of Web3 devs in Central India. And we actually, that whole hard work we did on Central Law paid off in the GearFi time. We now have access to some of the best talent around India, some of the best Web3 devs, which is helping us a lot while we are building GearFi. And then, yeah, so since the day one, from tokenizing real estate, our purpose has always been same to democratize investments. Because what we believe in the big stocks time was also that a normal student couldn't invest in real estate, but blockchain gives you this is a technology which gives you an opportunity to build something. You can tokenize these real estates into fraction into NFTs, so that a normal person can also invest into commercial real estate, right? So our purpose has always been the same, to democratize investments. And I guess that has, like, as we understood the market more, that evolved into GFI. We are doing a similar thing. We are providing a buy now, pay later option for NFTs. We just went a little more, you can say, bottom of the funnel, where like we are covering the whole market right now, as because we believe that as the NFT market evolves into PFPs, into gaming, we want to democratize, or we want to onboard more people into the NFT space. So that is how we like, started to work on GearFi.
I think I can also relate to that, because I remember when I used to play games. I used to create characters on PlayStation 2, and then again, like, it was a rented thing where we used to create characters. But when we visited back, the characters got deleted. So maybe if there was a way where we could have uh, just stored those characters, it could have been amazing. And I think that can also be one of the use cases of how you are. Uh, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, that's also one of the use cases for NFTs, right? In games,
Absolutely. In fact,
exactly.
that is one of the biggest utility we have
Mm-hmm.
till date. Like gaming NFTs is like they actually have a underlying value to them, and also eventually to like onboard the mass to it. Gaming, because even now if you go and read these stats, so almost from past 2 3 years, gaming has been responsible for 50 to 60% of blockchain activity, like every year. So gaming is something which will actually drive users to Web3, or will, you can say, convert these Web2 folks to Web3. And it also has underlying utility, as you just mentioned. So
Yeah. So okay. So I think yeah, we have discussed how it started, utilities behind it, your way of what NFTs are. Now we'll just jump into GearFi. So I want to understand, and I also want to know if there are other protocols similar to GearFi, and if there are, why GearFi is needed, or are you like the first movers in this space, or what's happening? So yeah.
Yeah, so taking up your first question, so there are some Ethereum based protocols building something similar, buy now pay later. But what we see is they are very you can say PFP focused products. So, because they completely focus on volumes, and PFPs have been showing good volume from past 1 2 years. Now the market is struggling a lot, but from past 1.5 years, PFPs have been showing immense volume. So these are the protocols. They don't actually provide buy now pay later with the access to utility, because in most of the cases, PFPs don't have utilities. So we wanted it to be actually useful. So that is why our focus has always been to integrate utility into this. And other, you can say, our USP could be the margin trading. So these other protocols who have been focused on PFPs, they cause the issue with the market is that almost every, especially on Ethereum, almost every PFP investor, these are NFT whales. So they are investing in high volumes, almost 50, $100 million every month. So they don't have a lack of capital, like the issue of having lack of capital with them. So they don't need anything like margin. So to explain margin trading protocol better, so as I've already given an example, right? Suppose you want to buy an NFT worth 100 shard and you pay a 20-30 share down payment, you get to reserve the NFT. Now, suppose the NFT price goes up, whether it be a gaming NFT, a real estate backed NFT, or a PFP. So now using GearFi, you have an option to sell that NFT for a higher price. Suppose the NFT went to 150 shard, right? So now you have an option to sell the NFT for profit even while the loan is active. In all every other case, you first have to repay the loan, then get the custody of the NFT, and then you get to flip the NFT. So you had to have that instant capital with you when the price increased to close the loan. So margin trading, which is a USP, you can actually flip the NFT or sell it for a higher price if you want to have an instant exit, unlike any other protocol, and even while the loan is active.
Interesting. I think so like we'll anyway have a demo. We'll get a more idea of things there. I'm super excited to see how it works. So definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, so coming to a few more questions which I have right now. One of which is how has been the response so far since you guys have been building for over a year now? So yeah, how has been the response by the community? Uh, Give us some metrics of growth on how you guys are growing so far, what's happening. So yeah.
Yeah. So response, like initially when we didn't have a prototype or like still were trying to figure out the PMF, obviously like every other startup in Web3 had to struggle. But once we were clear with what we want to build, and we have always like I've been a community builder since in the Web3 since past 3 years. So I've always been focused on like building in public. So yeah, we faced a bit of struggle initially, but once we had a clear idea and some initial like set of folks in our community who were there to cheer us up, the response was overwhelming. Like in initial days, like there were people who were helping us out in every bit, like where to in which direction to take the product. And even now, like as I've mentioned, we like the PFP market. We started with the PFP market, but now it is our community which is, you can say, directing us towards the gaming market. And it actually aligns with our thought process as well because gaming has been showing some good growth plus utility. So community, like we have always been very focused on it. It has played an important role. Plus, we started now we have around 15K members in the community, over 10K on our Twitter, plus it will reach 2K on Discord very soon.
Interesting. So yeah, I think I just like to ask you one more question, and then we'll move to the demo of GearFi. That is, so since like as you mentioned, you have a pretty impressive number in just a year. How did you get there? What are the growth metrics, or what are the growth strategies that you guys have been following in order to, grow GearFi so far? How did you, and also how did you gain your first set of users, or first set of community members? If you can tell us more about that.
Definitely. Yeah, so we were always very, you can say, blunt with what we wanted to build. We, like many times, we didn't have a clear path or execution, but we have been always like very transparent with the community. And I think that, like that paid well initially. We got like these people who like they knew that we don't have a great execution, but they believed in what we wanted to achieve and they believed in us. So we have been very transparent. So I guess that not a strategy, but more of an intrinsic value we have. And that was the reason we got to initial 5, 10 good people. Plus, one major strategy we always had is to onboard advisors. So in the NFT space, we always like are open for advisors who have been in this space building and like they've been in this space from 3, 4 years. So what that like bringing on good advisors helps you a lot because they have got a huge network backing them. Plus, you actually know which direction to build to. And Shardeum helped a lot. We launched our testnet on Shardeum like a month ago, and we didn't do any sort of marketing. There was not even an announcement. Like we just launched it, and you can say within first 2 weeks, we sold out 100 demo NFTs on Shardeum. I guess that's the number. And then as we like made the announcement and we uh, put on our second batch of NFTs, that was sold out in 2, 3 days max. So we have sold around 300 NFTs till date on Shardeum. So the response from Shardeum community has been like really amazing. And I actually had these sort of expectations from Shardian because I've been watching the community grow very rapidly, plus also being very interactive. And so,
Interesting. Would like to see more on how you guys grow. Looking forward to the next leg of yours. But yeah, cool. So here's what we'll do. Maybe like this is the time where you share your screen now. Take us through GearFi. Take us through all the features on what you are up to and everything, so that everybody who's watching us and everybody who will be watching us later will have a better idea of what's happening. So yeah, and
definitely.
I can see a lot of people joining in as well. Nice.
Uh, everyone, I guess, was excited about
Yes,
presentation.
sir.
Yes,
Everybody is. And let me know if you can share your screen, even though like I must have given you permissions, but yeah.
yeah, I can share my screen, but I'm struggling a bit because I don't use Discord. Like, have shared 1, 2 times
Oh, it's
on Discord. Just
understandable.
a second.
Understandable.
Is the screen visible to you
Um,
guys?
I mean, we'll just wait. Yes, sir. The screen is visible.
Just, can you see the application?
Mm. But I can hear an echo. So, mm,
Just I lost you there. Can you repeat? Yes.
I can like hear my echo back. So here is what you can do. You can stop sharing your screen. Hmm. And now what
Yeah.
you can do is you can just start sharing the platform itself, rather than sharing your entire screen and stuff. so that you don't share your
That
Discord.
is okay, okay, okay. Just a second.
Yeah.
I guess this will be better. So can
Yes.
you see the
Now
screen?
it's way better. Let's go.
Okay, just a second, please. Yeah. Is my voice clear?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So, guys, this is the GearFi testnet platform we have, and as mentioned, buy now, pay later, and margin trading for NFTs. And these are like some demo collections we have. These are some demo stats. So, suppose you want to buy BAYC as listed. So, there's a demo price here. So, the price it shows 5 SHM. Is the screen like you can see
Yeah, yeah, I
the
can see
tabs
everything.
changing? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
I
okay.
can see it.
So as mentioned, the price here for this particular demo NFT is 5 SHM, right? And so suppose you want to buy an NFT, like in this case, as it is a PFP, so many people buy it for speculative purposes, right? So you got the news that PAYC is partnering up with someone and the price is going to increase, right? But you don't have the upfront funds with you. So what you can do is you can pay a down payment. So you pay a 30% down payment of 5 SHM, which is 1.5. So just a second. So you click buy now. MetaMask is just a second.
Even though we can't see your MetaMask, but I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why the transaction keeps on. Just a second. I'll try. Go on to this, right? And so same 30% of 3 SHM. You pay 0.9 SHM. Actually, MetaMask still many times the extension doesn't pop up, especially on testnets. Happens a lot.
Those people are saying MetaMask is down right now. I hope that's not right. Maybe can you try it on some other testnet if pop-up is the case, or like will this happen with the entire dApp itself?
No, so, actually, this has been an issue with MetaMask. We've seen it happening,
Okay.
and especially when I try to present the screen, maybe because of the
Yeah,
network load or something.
maybe.
Just a second. I'll try it. Let's see.
Is this true?
Yeah, so
Is this
Roy's MetaMask is actually down right now. So Ronak just
what?
texted. So I'll give you a walkthrough. I don't have to come. MetaMask has crashed. So just a second. I'll give you a normal walkthrough. We don't.
Damn.
So yeah. So we can take an example of BOS. Am I audible? Yash?
Yes, you
Hello.
are, but damn, the MetaMask is not working. That is something shocking for me. I've got a lot of funds on my MetaMask, man.
I think they'll figure something out. So yeah, you go to NFT that you want to buy. You click on buy now, or you can buy it for 30%, and the NFT it shows up in like your portfolio. So this is the NFT that I have. So suppose this one, the BYC hashtag 2. Right. So this is a loan. This is an active loan. Just a second. Bro, it completely crashed. Like not even the extension has gone from my Chrome.
Crazy. Nothing is safe in this space.
At least we have the community to solve with.
For Web3 maxis, it's a huge pain in the ass, man. If if MetaMask goes down or something like this happens. But here's what you can do. Maybe you can just give us a walkthrough, like a visual walkthrough on what will happen rather than doing
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
transaction. So
I actually just a second.
and anyway, this shit happens. It's fine.
No issues. So yeah. So as mentioned, I don't know. Like I can't even switch the network right now on MetaMask. So the app just a second. Just yeah. So I was giving you a normal walkthrough, right? So you bought a BYC, right? And it shows in your just a second. It's not even showing MetaMask here. So I'll have to, I guess, give a. I do have a video if I can present it just a second. Guys, so sorry for this. Didn't know this
Oh,
would
it's
happen.
completely fine.
But
It's
Meta,
completely fine.
but
Yeah.
MetaMask is really down. Like it is not even like in the wallet connect, not even like showing MetaMask. So yeah, you did see the platform, right? So
Yes, sir.
you buy an NFT. It showed 15, like a 5 SHM over there. So you pay 30%, and then the price. If you and on GearFi, you have like you have access to list it while the loan is active on various marketplaces. So if it's on Shardeum blockchain, you can list it on every marketplace on Shardeum, and suppose you can find a buyer who is willing to buy it for a better price, or in case of any you can say famous NFT collection, so there are price trackers, so you see that the price is going up, so you can sell the NFT at that time, and it will be sort of a single transaction where like first the pool gets repaid, and the remaining profit after the interest and the pool gets repaid after gas fee and all, it comes to you directly. So it's a single transaction. That is how the protocol works. And little more update on this, like this particular protocol has been PFP focused, but we are like right now partnering up with some gaming projects as well. So suppose there's a game, Web3 game that you want to play, and they have an NFT that you want to buy to get far further in the game, or access NFT. So we are partnering up with NFT games where you can buy now pay later these gaming NFTs, and when the loan is active, you still can utilize the NFT in the game. So you can use the NFT when the loan is active. So we will make that protocol live as well, and we actually are very excited for these gaming collaborations on Shardeum. We like cause it has utility, as like I've mentioned many times by now. and we think that Shardeum and GearFi can help each other a lot if especially in the gaming Web3 gaming ecosystem.
Sounds interesting. I really wanted to see the demo, but it's fine if if MetaMask is not working. People are saying it's slow. It's okay. But yeah, I think I have covered all the questions. You have explained us how GearFi works. You tried giving us a demo, but yeah, it didn't work. So no worries. Maybe people who are here, they can just go when the MetaMask, or when maybe they can just connect their other wallets, other EVM based wallets, and see how it works. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I also wanted to ask you one last question, which is related to Shardium nodes. So people have been running a lot of nodes on Shardium. Have you tried one?
I actually saw a video like to make some good money, but actually, as I mentioned, I'm not much on the tech side. But my team definitely has, like Ronak. In fact, he has told me about it. Like we were discussing about it around a month ago. So our team has, but not me personally. But we'll definitely
Yeah,
like try it
maybe
out.
maybe since Shivam is also here. Shivam, can you hear me? If you can hear me, maybe we'll get Aadarsh on. Anyone can run a node, and we'll make Aadarsh run a node on. So like we host an event where you know we uh, we ask people to be here on the stage and run a node in front of all the people, or in front of the community. So maybe that would be a great idea to bring you here, make you run a node in front of people, so that people also get to know how node work, how nodes on Shardium works. So yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea.
It actually is, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We discussed a lot of things. We are going actually, like we are actually going overboard. It's already been like 40 minutes now. But again, it was great talking to you, man. I would really like to chat with you folks after this call, or maybe sometime where we are not online somewhere. I think I did meet somebody from GearFi. I'm not sure
Yeah,
who.
you might KP
Okay.
in Goa, right?
Yeah. I did meet somebody from the team. But yeah, it was
Yeah,
nice
you
having.
might KP.
Oh, I was down a lot of beers though. I have no idea who did I meet. But
Bro, I struggle like till date to remember what I went for networking, but I don't remember any. From Goa.
that's what happens in Goa. But anyway, like people here are global, so like they'll not have an idea of what it is. But yeah. Anyway, it was nice having you, Adarsh, here.
Same,
I mean, it was a
likewise.
great time. If you have anything to conclude our DApp library, go ahead. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So
we'll just end things here.
thanks a lot to everyone to bear with me and with MetaMask as well. So it was great being here, and please check out GearFi. And you can go on Twitter, follow gear_fi. We are running a campaign right now. So please, on Interact. So be a part of that campaign. Uh, Join the GFI community. I'll ask Yash as well if we'll be able to share our Discord on the server as well, if that's not an issue. So please join the community. We always try to be very transparent with everyone with what we are building. Plus, are always open to suggestions of the community. So,
I,
yeah.
I think you guys are free to do that. All you have to do is just drop the links, and if the links are not, like, if you can't drop it, maybe somebody. I think since I am here, Shubham is here, maybe we can help you guys. So not a problem. And like we do have a separate space for all the DApp builders on our Discord, where they can just flex the DApp that they're building on Shardium. So definitely I'll open that for you as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
That
Thank
that
you
that
so
would be
much.
great.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here,
Yeah.
man. And thank you
Thanks
everybody
a
who
lot,
joined.
Yash, for being a great host.
Oh,
Thanks everyone to join.
and yeah, thank you everybody who joined. We'll see you next week with another dab. Till then, bye bye. Have a great day.